going to have Coach Teddy Keaton join us on the show. Coach Keaton, the head man in charge at Clark Atlanta University, leading the red and black Panthers. Coach Teddy Keaton and our very own Stephen J. Gaither are going to be joining us. Coach Keaton is just a celebrity these days. He's not just a coach. He's a celebrity coach as well. So it's just so great to have a piece of his time.
How you doing, Simone?
I'm great. How are you?
Which one is you? Right there.
Sit wherever you would like. Y'all can't see, but he fresh head to toe. He got the red and black J's on, black cargo pants, black love, red shirt, fitted cap, snapback.
Well, you know, they are the other red HBCU, because only 2 HBCUs got the real pure red anyway. Clark Atlanta and Winston-Salem State. Everybody else, that's like y'all third color.
Not you trying to make this about Winston-Salem State.
It's about red. It's about red.
Coach Keaton, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. So I want to start off by asking you, you coached across from head coach Chennis Berry when he was at Benedict College. How cool is it to see him in the MEAC now and in the Celebration Bowl?
It's wonderful. I think he did it for the world of D2. Us coaches that strive to work the hard way, he got it out of the mud. And I think that Chennis is probably one of the best coaches that you'll go against strategy-wise, work ethic-wise. He's going to have his team ready to play. Tomorrow he's going to coach as an underdog, and he's going to have those kids ready to amp. And some of them are undersized, but he's still going to have them ready to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, you said it great yourself. Coach Berry, again, just last year, he was at Benedict, back-to-back championships. I know you guys played him tough, but just talk about, and he kind of talked about that with, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, where a lot of the times we've seen a lot of different waves in hiring of coaches, right? We've seen where everybody was trying to go get a D1 assistant. And then we saw, of course, Coach Deion Sanders, and then Coach Eddie George, Eddie Robinson, guys who have done fabulous things, but they had never really been coaches. And now with Chennis Berry, you're seeing a guy from D2 HBCU get a chance at the D1 level. What do you think about that, and how things have kind of flipped around?
About Chennis Berry, y'all guys didn't believe in these D2 players.
First of all, why are you pointing at folks? Who is y'all?
I'm talking about the media.
I'm a moderator. I don't be giving opinions, Coach. I just be teeing up the questions.
Well, to answer the question, here's what I feel. I think for us coaches who work our way from D2 assistants to D2 head coaches, and we really work hard at trying to develop our kids, and for him to make it, and he took a plethora of those D2 kids to South Carolina State with him, and they added a lot of value to that team and that program as individuals. We saw it as, take for instance, Eric Phoenix. When we saw him on the field, he played well. He made good check downs. He had a bad game in the playoff game, but he came back and went to Murray State, I believe. And then for him to reunite with Chennis and come back and be the HBCU Player of the Year, come on now. He's doing a really good job, and I think that us as coaches hate to see a celebrity coach get hired. We hate to see a guy come in that didn't put in any work, that haven't worked hard. Coach Berry waited, unlike myself, Coach Berry waited 30 years almost to become a head coach. So I'm so proud of him and his shine that he's getting and what he's done and what he's able to go. I'm talking about this guy went 20-0. I mean, 20-2 in Division II football. Then he turns around and go take South Carolina State and do what he do. That should set the stage to say that these guys, we coach too, we work. And if you look at a lot of the SWAC teams, Chennis is an offensive guy. I think that all of them with jobs that need to be searched, they need to be looking at the fact that how can we get us an offensive guy that can call plays, that can help our offenses speed up? Chennis Berry was one of those guys that could do that. Everybody's got solid defense, or maybe it's just because the offense is so bad. So we got to figure out a way to get our offenses that is must-watch TV. You don't want to watch games where you're watching the game and it's just a defensive matchup, unless it is just where they playing great, solid defense and not players making plays.
Yeah, unless you got like 8 NFL guys, and it kind of makes sense. to that end, we are in the coaching search season, and there's a lot of openings open because of the success of a Chennis Berry, because of the success that you've had over here at Clark Atlanta and what you did at Allen. Your name comes up a lot in that. For you, what is it like? I know you kind of talked about how people have always kind of betted against you. What is it like now for folks to be mentioning you up there with some of those guys and putting you out there?
I'm very humble about the situation. I know that I work hard. I know I put in the work to get what I get. I'm one of those guys that started from the bottom. I mean, I'm talking about all my career. I've never been number one on anybody's list. I challenged her when I got the job at Clark, and I told her if I can't win, nobody won't win here. And I meant that. That's the kind of confidence that we elude in ourselves, and that's the way we got to work, because nothing ever came easy. And so you breed that type of fight into your kids, and they understand that this is what it takes to win. And I think that's confidence. Some people call it arrogancy, but there's a line between confidence and arrogancy that must be flirted with if you're going to build a team of young men to go out and play football for you. So to be in those names, to be mentioned, right now I'm the coach at Clark Atlanta University. I'm happy to be at Clark Atlanta University. I like the direction we're trying to go in. Clark Atlanta, what other brand can you get? And I'm serious about this. What other brand can you get that's as big as Clark Atlanta's brand? All they needed was a winner. That's all they needed was that. Now we done turned up and bought people out of the dead. Everybody done woke up. The games were packed. We probably made more money. Attendance went up to number 13th in D2 football. I mean, we've done everything you could possibly do except win the championship. So we got some unfinished business. I got everybody locked in. If you notice, only 2 of my players got in the transfer portal out of a roster of 96 players. So that obviously say they've bought into what I'm selling, what we're doing. And I got to, really weigh some options if something do come open to realize what's beneficial for me and my family and what I want to do with the next phase of my career.
How has it been rising? You said you were never number one on anybody's list, but now you're a guy people calling. You're doing podcasts with 85 South Show. You on First Take.
You was with my boy Chico?
He was on the Broken Play with Nav. I love Nav Green is hilarious.
He is hilarious. I had a great time, great experience.
That is one of my favorite comedians. But what is it like now? You're a face in the ATL. What is it like now rising up and being a high-profile guy in the city?
I like it. I didn't come in it for the fame. I just so happened, low-key, I could have been a comedian if I didn't choose football.
Is that right? Because
most people think I'm hilarious.
There's a lot of comedy clubs around here.
I don't remember anybody saying that.
No, you didn't say it because you never heard it. So it is what it is. I love it. I love it.
It was probably Sly talking over him. You probably forgot
Sly.
Nah, Sly is the one who need to be in a comedy show somewhere.
Right.
But at any rate, we have fun. Now they bring me back. This is the second time I've did their show. I shout out to Chad and those guys at 85 South. They've been nothing but good to me. I got a hat, I got shirts, I got everything, and I gave them my gear. We're having fun over there, and it's just good to be able to talk about HBCU football in that space that none of those guys ever really want to talk about.
Did you bring us gear?
I did bring you gear, but I promise you.
Oh.
That
So
if you stay out of Philadelphia for one weekend, we might be able to get you a shirt.
So
I just didn't think you would wear it.
When you go to other people's shows, you bring gifts.
Well, you guys kind of caught me at the end, and I wasn't prepared for you guys.
Okay. But as a coach, you're supposed to always be prepared for anything.
Well, next time I'm gonna start keeping it in the trunk. But I do have the Be the Reason line out. That's shout out to Anthony Lawrence collection. He does me, Chennis Berry, Coach Prime. He added another coach, and I think it's another big-time coach that's fixing to join the collection. So we're just proud of Chennis is my guy. TC, I have a connection to TC too. TC is family. TC, his wife is my mother-in-law's cousin. So we kind of root for TC in that area, and we root for Chennis because Chennis is that D2 guy. But I think it's going to be a phenomenal game yesterday. And shout out to the guys who do the Celebration Bowl. I've been watching it, kind of all week. It's been fantastic. That's the way it should be celebrated, and I really like it.
So who are you picking in the game tomorrow?
If TC played McDonald, I'll like him. I don't know why he likes McDowell so much. I'm not a fan of him. I think he holds the ball too long, those different things. But Chennis going to have those guys ready to play football, and it's hard to go against Chennis. I played him twice, and he whooped my behind. I'm talking about, and nobody give Jordan Adair the credit, man. That defense plays at a high level all the time, and those D linemen are going to do exactly what they need to do. And I think it's going to be a tough matchup. I'm going to go with what my man said. It's going to go down to a field goal. If everybody plays defense like they're capable of playing, it could be a tough game tomorrow.
So you're going with Jackson State?
I did not say that.
Who you going with?
I'm going with me.
You got to make a pick. Come on, this is show business.
First one to what score wins?
Jackson State starts off slow. The last 3 games I watched them play, they got to play faster in the first 2 quarters. If you ever played a Chennis Berry team, he's going to have them ready to play for 4 quarters. That's going to be the difference in the game. TC going to have to get them out there, and they got to play fast right away, because if Eric Phoenix get out there and he gets comfortable, it could be a long day for them. And they can grind the ball out. People don't really see that, but they can grind the ball out. They got bubbles. They got little things to get them first downs, and they're going to keep moving. And the MEAC for over years has been a tough opponent for the SWAC right now. Mm-hmm. So you talking about over the years, if you had to go with the past, would you go with the underdog? Yes, I'm assuming, all the players are over at Jackson State, but there's a lot of scrappy players who want to win. And I think that's what it's going to come down to, who plays the hardest.
All that just to not make a pick. I appreciate it, Coach. I appreciate it. Very savvy. But we picked up on that.
I'm not going to say anything.
Well, we just wanted the record to show that at what time was it? At 4:23 p.m. on December 13th, Teddy Keaton was here, not anywhere else. He was in Atlanta, hanging with us, keeping these kids out of the transfer portal. I got to ask you this: how to me it seems like every kid that makes a first down or breaks up a pass wants to go in the transfer portal the next year. Everybody's always looking for that leg up. How are you guys dealing with that? Obviously, the portal works both ways, but how tough is that to keep your best guys?
You got to recruit them every day. I promise you, it's like your girlfriend. They get a little bit more. You got to talk to her. You got to make sure she feels confident about herself. Same way with players. You got to do that. But here's what nobody's talking about. The roster sizes for Division I has got to go to 105. That means there's going to lose about 50. The average roster size is 165 right now, something. They're going to lose a lot of kids. So you're talking about an additional 1,200 players that possibly going to get into the portal. Our kids at our level who come there to play, unless somebody's talked to you and actually had a conversation, and let's not kid ourselves, somebody's in somebody's DM right now having a conversation about playing football for them. If that conversation hadn't started and you don't have a legitimate strike for that, I would not get caught up in that portal. There's a lot of kids that hit the portal from the Division II level where I have already earned a team. I'm the starter. I am a playmaker. Why would I jump in the portal knowing the situation? So now I forfeited my scholarship. Now I have everything that I was doing. I was starting. Why would you do it? I just think it's going to be a fiasco this year. And I think a lot of kids are going to get caught in that trap. A lot of good football players are going to get caught in that trap of a transfer portal because they listening to the homeboy in the barbershop. They listening to somebody, oh, you can play bigger level football than this. I think D2 is great football. I think that there's a lot of competitive football players. I think it's a great place to play. And because of all of, we get more press in the SIAC and the CIAA than most teams get that causes other people to want to join us. I played on TV this year, 8 out of the 9 games I played this year on some form of TV. Where else could you get that in Division II football? So what else do you want? I'm a starter. I'm a superstar. Why would you jump in the portal? I saw DBs, I'm talking about great DBs for this conference, jump in the portal. I saw D linemen, I saw O linemen, quarterbacks. Like, where are you going? I'm just as baffled to what goes into that thought process to tell a kid to jump in the portal. So in my instance, I talk to my kids. My institution has the 3 A's. We have athletics now, we have academics, and we have activities. So if you got that holistic approach to the college experience that you're looking for, what are you going somewhere else for? Because you want to be a tree climber? And then a lot of kids, if somebody just did a study of how many kids that left certain schools where they were playing at and then go to another institution only to sit on the bench, or never get a shot. I got 3 Power 5 guys on my team this year that never played one down of football at Clark Atlanta University. That's an interesting story. Never touched the field, never was productive, never really did anything that was worthy of saying that they could take a Division II player spot. And then there's some Division II guys that take the guy that left from Everett Waters to go over to Mississippi Valley. Rembert, I think that's his name. Rembert went over and he was a baller. He was a baller at Everett Waters, but he's one of the few that could go. So what you would do is you would go to a team that's really bad, like a Arkansas Pine Bluff or a Mississippi Valley. Those type players, it's the truth.
He been making a lot of enemies for us on this show, low key.
He ain't lying.
See, we all gotta undress ourselves and tell the truth. The truth of the matter is some of those places are bad, and some of them need players. So if I'm if I'm trying to build a team at that level, I'm gonna rob the D2s of all their great players, and maybe I might be able to compete to win 5 or 6 ball games at that level. Now, if you think about what Chennis Berry did, he took some of the top players from Division II and put them on that South Carolina State team. And look what South Carolina State is at right now. Because there's a lot of guys that come into Division II right now that's not being recruited by the Division I schools because they're too busy recruiting in the portal, or they're recruiting from each other. So why wouldn't I take the opportunity to go play at a Division II? And maybe I got it just like when you get drafted. If you're the number 1 pick, you go into the worst team, right? It's some people that don't want to go there. But you got to go there and prove yourself and hopefully create value for yourself as an individual that you can get moved on somewhere else.
There's a lot of there. Just guys, remember the portal is deep. You get in there, you might not be able to get out. Yeah, Coach, we definitely appreciate you for coming through. I know you're on a time crunch. I know you got places to be. It's Christmas. You know, you got babies to kiss, and Santa Claus is to give out. So, yeah, but I appreciate you for coming through as always, and appreciate you for partnering with us with the Teddy Keaton Show.